Okay, let us start with the pranama mantras. Jai Jagannath, Jai Baladev Subham, Jai Sudharma, Jai Sadashana. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gnananjanashalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Ena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desha Tarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay, so today we will be going through this particular chapter, 17th chapter, 14th shloka. So this is about the austerities. Okay, so let me read the shloka first. Please look at your screen. देवद्विज गुरुप्रज्ञा पूजनं शौचमाजवं ब्रह्मचर्यम् अहिंसा च शारीरं तप उच्यते देवद्विज गुरुप्रज्ञा पूजनं शौचमाजवं ब्रह्मचर्यम् अहिंसा च शारीरं तप उच्यते. Reading the translation. Austerity of the body consists in worship of the Supreme Lord, the Brahmanas, the spiritual master and superiors like the father and mother, and in cleanliness, simplicity, celibacy, and non-violence. So here it is, if you look at the particular word, Deva, Dvija, Guru, Pragna. So, pujanam basically means respecting, not literally worshipping, like doing puja, what we do. So puja also means expressing our respect, particular person, people to be respected. So here Deva, Deva, it is referred to Supreme Lord. And also Devatas also can be referred here. Okay, but Srila Prabhupada mentions that Deva refers to Supreme Lord because he is the greatest of all Devatas. So his other name is Deva Deva. Okay, so here Deva Dvija. Dvija means Brahmana because Dvija means twice born. So one birth is biological, father and mother, and the second is birth by the spiritual master. So spiritual master initiates, and that is the second birth. So that is why Brahmanas are referred as Dvija. Then Guru, spiritual master. So this is what is referred here. So you have to respect your Guru. Then Pragna, in generally anybody who is advanced in knowledge. So we see that anybody who is knowledgeable, so we respect them, right? So like Chanakya Pandit in Chanakya Nidhi, Chanakya Pandit says that a powerful person may be respected in a particular area, okay, but a knowledgeable person is respected everywhere because of his knowledge or the wisdom he is carrying. Okay, so this is what the meaning of the first line. Then pujanam, shaucham, ajavam. Shaucha means cleanliness. Now cleanliness is both internal and external. Ajavam is simple, being simple or simplicity, straightforward living. Okay. And another important thing here, if you note in the shloka, is brahmacharya and ahimsa. And this is related to shariram. So all these the attributes or the qualities which is mentioned here, it is completely related to shariram tapa uchyate. What that is what is mentioned. So sharira means body. So austerity is related to body. Austerity is difficult, but this is what is recommended by Krishna. You need to follow. Brahmacharya ahimsa. It is interesting. If you look, what Krishna mentions is brahmacharya and ahimsa together. The similar one for this opposite he had mentioned in very long back in a previous shloka, kama and krodha. kama esha, krodha esha, rajoguna samadbhava. So he had mentioned, so kama and krodha. So the way to control kama, that is lust, is to follow brahmacharya, that is celibacy. Okay, abstaining from sexual activities. Okay, sexual activities is only allowed in marriage life. But nowadays we see society, I don't have to speak much about that. You see the news and you read nowadays how people are. Okay, so kama is to be controlled by brahmacharya. And how to control anger? Kama esha krodha. So krodha is controlled by ahimsa, non-violence. So generally, our activities are classified with three activities. If you see, our activities are related with body, our speech, and our mind. Okay, so these are the urges which are there in us. Okay, there's urges or the agitations. There's a there's desires which coming out. So there's a urges which is there in the mind. Okay, and sometimes we speak out what I want to do, this, that, and sometimes we show it in action also, using our body, which has the senses. So there are three urges. Okay, there's something subtle and there's something physical which happens. So Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he classified these into bodily, mental, and verbal. So generally, if you see a Vaishnava sannyasi or a celibate who has given up everything, who has sacrificed everything, he will carry a danda or a stick. Okay. So a danda, in that danda he will carry three sticks on the top. So that stick is mentioned as manasika, vachana, and karmana. So body, mind, and speech, kaya, vacha, manasa. So that means one will offer everything using these things, kaya, vacha, manasa. So here in the purport, Prabhupada is mentioning about how to offer respects, learn to offer uh, to gods or the demigods, the Supreme Lord, the spiritual master, Brahmana, and the knowledgeable person. So that is how we will learn. Sometimes Srila Prabhupada would say that if you don't feel like paying obeisances, obeisances means paying dandavats in front of the Lord or in front of the spiritual master, you do it voluntarily. Slowly you will start feeling that. So similarly, we tell people that you start chanting. Okay, you may not feel that, okay, I don't like chanting as of now. You feel awkward, or you feel something like embarrassing for you. You feel somewhat shy doing this. But as in when you start chanting, you'll start feeling that it gives you peace of mind. It gives you some kind of happiness. Okay, so you need to start doing it. So that is what is recommended. If you see Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, sometimes he would faint just by taking darshan. He would go to temples and just by taking darshan, he would faint. We are not in that stage, but at least we can offer obeisances, right? So this is what is mentioned. So this is something which keeps impressions, a cultural impressions in our mind for following all these things. So next is ahimsa. Ahimsa means when somebody provokes. This is ahimsa means non-violence. Now, how to avoid that? So somebody provokes, and we need to basically discipline and control our mind and not get provoked and react in a similar fashion. Okay, similar manner. Okay, and lash out that particular person. So avoid provocation is one kind of austerity. Okay, there is a difference between responding and reacting. We all know, we have attended the sessions. If you see online, there are so many sessions which so many great speakers talk about how to respond and not to react to a particular situation in our daily lives or in certain situations. So materially, if you see, generally people would suggest that you keep account how to control, then how to calm down or come out of that situation. If you see devotees, they would say that chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Just chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Someone is trying to provoke you, so that time there is some kind of a pause button. Okay, we try to find the pause button. So when we are getting angry, so you pause and think and then move on. or respond to, that person or that situation. So I'll tell you a small story. Okay, there was a mother and a child who went to a mall, and in the mall, the child was crying a lot. Okay, so she was going on crying. She wanted something, and so the mother was telling the child, Jennifer, stop it. Okay, so, Jennifer, control, please stop it, she was telling. Okay, but she continued. The child continued. Again, she raised her voice, Jennifer, please stop it. I'm telling you, please stop it. Control, she was telling. So there was a person, old man, who was looking at this mother and daughter, this conversation. So he came and advised the mother that, you see, the way you are explaining the child, it is not happening. So you should tone down and you should come down to that level and explain the child first thing. So that lady told that, do you know whom I'm speaking? Jennifer is my name. I'm trying to control my anger, so that I can, the way she's, because she's cranky and she's not listening to mother. So she's telling, so instead of scolding the child, she's telling herself, Jennifer, control, Jennifer, control. So some people follow certain methods. So this is one way. Okay, but we need to follow this pause button. Sometimes we have to just think about the Lord, or as I said, we need to chant the Maha Mantra to understand ourselves that we are in a situation which is provoking and we need to come out of that. So, what are the methods? There are different ways for different devotees. Okay. Next is Ajavam. Ajavam is something called as straightforwardness or being simple, living a simple life. This is something related to inner attribute. That means this is something related to each person individual. He has his particular way of living in a simple manner. Okay. So Arjuna here it is related as simplicity. So Krishna is telling him to be in a simple manner. Okay, the more simple we live, the more we will have time for higher thinking. Okay, so simple, Prabhupada very nicely phrases this: simple living and high thinking. Okay, but if you see the complexity, the way we are living in this world around us, it's completely complex and it's always agitating. Okay, so the more complex we live, the more our thoughts will caught up in that only, will not come out of that. Okay, but it doesn't mean that devotee cannot have modern gadgets or etc, something other things. No, I'm not telling that way. Okay, but we should not succumb, or we shouldn't come to that pressure, that we will also sway into that kind of living. Okay, what level of engagement is required for us, that much service or whatever the social position is there, whatever necessity is required in our engagement, that has to be followed accordingly. We have to live. Okay, we may not be able to disconnect ourselves completely from the material life, but at the same time we can engage them in our day-to-day life, which progresses ourselves in spiritual. Okay, that is what basically we shouldn't get entangled in all these things. Okay, so if you see people, instead of having this concept of simple living and high thinking, people are simply living and hardly thinking nowadays. That is what is happening. They're simply living and hardly thinking. So real thinking is thinking at a spiritual level. I'm not telling that thinking means something about material, how to acquire this, how to do this, how to do that. That anybody does. Any living entity will do it. Okay, but this is higher think is something which is spiritual. Okay, this is what we have to follow. So to do so many things at material level, it sucks our energy, our mental energy. It will suck so much. That's what we are doing today. We are engaged so much that our energy is being dragged. We are watching videos and we are engaged so many things whole day. We don't have time to think about ourselves, which is the real self, the soul. We are ignoring it basically. So the more wealth, the more social status we struggle to achieve and maintain, that gets into entanglement, and the result is irritation, complications, agitations. So we are very busy, and we cannot even focus what is required in our as a person, as a human being, what I have to achieve, that we will forget, and we'll just live like animals. Animals very busy running around. If you see, the animals, if you see, it's running here and there always. What it is looking for, all the basic things, which is repetitive and which cannot be solved at all. This problem of eating, mating, sleeping, defending, you cannot come out of that. Okay, so a devotee tries to live as simple as possible, at the same time, based on the time, place, and circumstance, and at the same time engage his mind, his energy in spiritual activities. So it is a balancing activity, so you have to balance both material and the spiritual activities. Okay, so this is a shloka explanation on each and everything which has been given. Okay, so I'll end my class here. Now, the next thing is about the